Welcome back to Super Tuesday Recap. This is your host, Kriss and Dpalm here, and we are back to review Inhumans Season 1, Episode 6. The gentleman's name is Gorgon. Gorgon and Karnak take on Auran and her Inhuman army with disastrous results. I'm going to let Dpalm start us off with this. What do you think of this episode, man?
This was it. This was the show I wanted to see from the beginning. This is the show that I thought that this is... So for the first time in, was this episode 6? In 6 episodes, I felt like I was reading an Inhumans book. And not like one of the better Inhumans books, but like a memorable one, like one that's set in the past. And that it was the royal family doing what I wanted them to do the whole time. Like watching Gorgon and Karnak work together, Black Bolt and Medusa, that like we spoke last week, their chemistry is clearly better than it was in that pilot. I even love the stuff with Maximus where people thought he was outsmarted, and you got to see that he can't really outsmart Maximus. Even the opening dream where he's threatened by his family's return. Like, I love that the things he's saying are still like, yeah, the caste system is evil, and the royal family are kind of pieces of shit, but he's doing it legitimately and solely only for himself. And it's so transparent that even coups formed against him are predictable and easily dispatched.
Oh, yeah, no. The royal family they're fucking terrible people. Something happened this episode. I'm trying to think of what it was. That I was like,
Karnak lying to your boy was hilarious.
Oh, so yeah, so the Mortis thing. But even then, it's like, that's when I was like, yo, you guys are fucking terrible. Cause I was like, yo, Mortis had a point. He's like,
Karnak, I wanted to kill that thing as soon as I saw it.
Yeah, it's like, yo, you have a point. Like, yo, so Black Bolt is one of the most powerful Inhumans. Comes out and They do all this and make him fucking king. Mortis comes out and you guys wanted to kill him, and you were like, oh no, and you lied to him, and then comes out to tell the truth is you were gonna do that. You guys wanted to kill this man, even though he had no control over what Terrigenesis did to him. You guys had these people go through this stuff. You have no you gave him no help, and it's like, oh well, whatever happens, wherever you fall into this line, that's where you fall, genetics, and that's it. It reaffirmed. And again, this is not something that I don't like with the show. I think it's very important because it's something that you need to understand about the Inhuman royal family. They are terrible fucking people. All of them are terrible. Like every time you go to try to understand and try to like them, you realize, oh no, you're still fucking terrible. You are pieces of shit that don't fucking get it. So no, I that was one of the things, and I kind of felt for Mortis on that one because I was like, damn man, he had a point here. You guys are some fucking assholes. I definitely understand why. I'm gonna get a Mortis' right shirt,
Yo, I think Mortis is wrong as fuck. If only because Karnak's right. Like, yes, Black Bolt got to live because yes, he was born in royalty. The game isn't fair. The game is the game. If your face can destroy, like Black Bolt, we can teach you to be quiet. Mortis, you look at people and they die. There's no place for that.
Well, you give them a mask, you find some way to help them. Just like you find,
there's no helping. You can't tell them to not have a face.
Well, clearly they gave him a mask, and
and threw him behind bars.
Well, they shouldn't have thrown him behind bars. That's my thing, right? Like,
what happens when the teenager with the mask is a little mad because you turn off his video game?
Well, what happens when fucking the teenager with the voice that can destroy a fucking planet jerks off and climaxes and fucking goes, and blows. Like, I'm just saying, man.
Tells him no because he's a prince.
Oh, okay. See, that's what I'm saying. Like I said, Mortis is fucking right.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying the game is the game.
Yeah. You're one of them. Okay.
I'm not one of them. Loki. Yo. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah. See, this is.
I'm sorry.
This is how you get people like Loki, and this is how you get people like Mortis, because some people like you turn into like, the game's a game. Okay, game's a game, and this is why I'm gonna kill you guys. I'm just saying, this is how you breed contempt. Mortis is right. Just saying, I'm getting that.
No one goes into robbing a couple on the street saying, in 20 years, that child that I left behind is going to become a bad vigilante and ruin my day. Well, no one thinks that.
Oh, yeah. Nobody thinks that because they don't fucking read anymore. Like, that's clearly, look, that's either a vigilante hero origin story or more likely it's a villain origin story. All right. That's just, those are the two fucking things right there. It doesn't end up any other fucking way. There's just no other fucking way that this ends up. So, yeah. Mort's definitely right though. I fucking feel this guy. I want to get his face on his shirt, and yeah, I'm definitely definitely burning some candles for Mortis on this one, man, because he didn't have to go out like that. So, what else you got?
This is the first time I didn't really enjoy Crystal, but I thought she played. I think this is the first time they let her stop spinning her wheels. Because realistic talk, like that should have been the first thing she fucking did.
She's not very smart.
No. And I think that's been. If they were trying to tell us she's dumb, we get it, writers. She's not the brightest because she's a teenager. Because teenagers are dumb. I get all of that. Could you at least have it not? If her solution was a bit more complicated than I'll just throw lightning from a mountain. Wait a second. Why wasn't that the first thing you fucking did?
She was gonna do lightning by the barn and set everything on fire. It's like, do you not know how your powers work?
Princess Brat.
Do you not know how your powers work? I mean, what the like? This is why you guys are fucking like the Inhuman royal family, and apparently it just they're proving why humans don't trust Inhumans because you guys don't even know how to use your own goddamn powers. Like, what the fuck, man? What are you talking? You were gonna literally burn everything down because you were gonna summon lightning right beside the flammable barn full of fucking flammable hay. What the fuck were you thinking? Just, oh my god, she's so fucking stupid. That and then when they were teleporting Lockjaw around going, he's not really getting better. He seems like he's getting tired and stuff like that. Maybe because you guys are literally gallivanting around fucking Hawaii. I don't even know.
You also got to remember that on Adelan, when someone gets hurt, they have healers. That's a little, there's been little touches that I really appreciated. Last episode when she talked to the vet, like, why isn't he better yet? If you're raised in the culture where you get that instantaneous type thing, I like that little wrinkle of her not understanding that it's going to take time.
No, so here's the thing. I definitely did not like this episode. Look, everybody knows how I feel about this show. And like I said, if it was a longer show, I definitely would have found Dpalm somebody else to review the show with because it is not good. I've been trying my hardest to be positive here. Like I was on the Nerd Off on Friday, and Rod and Karen were talking about how much they like the show, and I just shut the fuck up. I didn't say a word. If you're listening to that episode, you'll notice that I shut up like I normally do when they talk about fucking anime. Because it was just like, I don't want to be that guy. I think Nina from Project Phantom had the thread about liking the show, and everybody came in, and I was just like, I saw it, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna read this. But this.
I want to say right now, I appreciate Rod, Karen, and Nina because it made me feel like I'm not going crazy. I talk to you every week.
Well, look, here's the thing. A lot of people like the show. I mean, there's a lot of people in that thread that like it. And, I'll say this. I think that, and this goes for a lot of things. I think it's going to benefit, regardless of if I think Justice League is good or not. I think it's going to benefit. Justice League is going to benefit from this too. When you're so negative on something and something gets so much press where it's down in the fucking gutter, where there's nowhere for it to go but up, I think there's definitely a way for people to see some good in it. Because even when you guys talk about the show, you guys talk about a lot about the shit that's stupid and doesn't work, but you still enjoy it, and that's fine. That's fine. But the show's not fucking good. Like this is. I've not enjoyed.
You can't say there's an objective truth when you and at the same time acknowledge that people are enjoying it.
No, I can say something's not good and enjoy it. I do that all the time. Like there's plenty. Oh, trust me, there's plenty of stuff. No, listen. If you go back and listen, if you're Nerd Off, if you're a Black Guy Test Premium member, go and listen to the Nerd Off. I think it's either that episode or the one before it. It was last episode. We talk about Solo, Mario Van Peebles, that movie Solo. Oh, that movie is so fucking terrible. It is a terrible fucking movie. But I enjoyed the fuck out of it when I was growing up. You can do that. Things can be terrible and you can enjoy them. And that thing in Inhumans is that for some people. Like, it is not good. And I thought the last two episodes were getting better. I thought this episode was a huge step back. There were a lot of problems I had with this episode. The first being, I'm completely opposite with you on the Kriss stuff was bad. It's just all bad. Abigail, what's her name? Is what is the girl who's playing Isabelle Cornish? I don't know if she can act or not. She cannot act on this show. She is really bad. And I understand that maybe they might be trying to make Crystal seem like she's a little airhead and she's not. I get that.
That's kind of always been the point of the character.
No, and that's fine. That's not what Isabel's doing here. That's not why she's acting this way.
That's what I'm getting.
No, she just can't act.
I disagree.
She's not landing her lines. The scenes are just really bad. They feel mechanical. I'm not getting actual acting from her. So I just don't. I can't stand her scenes. the Maximus stuff I think is really interesting. I like it. I think the whole thing about the Tibor betraying him, that's great. But we just found out last week that Tibor had gotten approached by this group to overthrow Maximus, and then somehow Maximus finds out in some kind of way that Tibor is setting him up, and then at the end of the episode, he's already like. It just felt like they ran out of time. It feels like they realized that they need more time to tell this story. Like, one of the things they said when they were doing Inhumans was like, we're trying to make it like Game of Thrones in space, right? We're trying to make it Inhumans like Game of Thrones.
Not in 8 episodes, you're not.
Well, and that's my thing. Well, not in 8 network episodes, because even as much as people complain about how Game of Thrones episodes end early, they still go, there's no commercial breaks. So they still get a good, 55, 60 minutes of an episode almost. It's not, maybe not a full hour, but it's damn close. If you get network TV, you're getting 42 minutes. And while those 8 minutes might not seem like a lot, I think they are. I think they do. They
do with pacing and like the way you break down a show. And you write for commercial breaks.
Right. So again, I if I fill in the gaps, the stuff with Maximus is great. Like you said, like, hey, I like the idea that Maximus, like when Maximus did the flashbacks. To me, the flashbacks are the Inhuman show I wanted. Like, they show me things about how these characters interact that I feel way more engaged in. Like that whole thing with Maximus being taught by Gorgon how to fight, and you see that the one lesson he takes from it is use his cunning and his and deceptiveness and do the sneak attack, right? Like that there, and it kind of lets you can have you fill the gaps in that. Maximus on his own is a schemer and can kind of feel that Tibor is betraying him. That's great. But I watch Game of Thrones, and I don't have to fill the gaps in like that. Like I don't
watch Game of Thrones, and I'm enjoying this because, like you said, I think part of it is the limitations of 8 episodes. They couldn't do everything that you and I would want them to do, but I think that. Maybe you can say like I'm almost grading on a curve, which is they're not going to tell the story that they built, and maybe they should have told a smaller story. But you and I have done this before. There aren't that many good small Inhuman stories.
No, you're right, and that's it. But I think that I can't grade them on a curve for something they should have known. Like your story, when you wrote this, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't work in these 8 episodes. Now, maybe that means you need to expand it to 10 or do something. And we've seen shows do that. But to me, it seems like they did not plan this out and they did not think this through, because when you go from Tibor coming to understanding that, hey, maybe I need to betray Maximus, to all of a sudden he's making the decision to betray Maximus and kill Maximus, but then Maximus somehow figures it out. Like that end episode, I was like, wait a minute, how did we get here? Because the can't remember the kid's name, the kid that can see the future. It's like, he didn't tell Maximus anything to kind of let Maximus know one way or the other. They didn't give us any scenes with Maximus even kind of going like, no, I see what's going on here, or something to show that Maximus figured it out on his own. We're supposed to fill that gap in, and that's fine. I think people can do that, but I shouldn't have to. Not when you want the show. Not when you tell me the show's supposed to be like Game of Thrones. I should have to fill that gap in. Not in the first season. I need to see that shit, right? And they didn't do that. And so you jump to this end, and you get this scene, this showdown with all of a sudden these agents coming down, and Maximus is there. Like, none of it made sense. Just to get us to the end, because we know that they're running out of time. And I can't grade that on the curve. That's just bad. You did poor planning. You should have done it. We never felt that way with Agent Carter. And Agent Carter had 8 episodes, 10 episodes. Like, why did you guys think that this would work? I also didn't like the fact that they split the family up again. Like, I like we just got the family back together again, and they split them up again so that all of a sudden they're sending Gorgon and Karnak to go rescue the Inhumans and the people that Black Bolt knows. Why wouldn't Black Bolt and Medusa go to rescue the Inhumans that Black Bolt knows? Like, that makes no fucking sense.
Well, because he had to go with Medusa to get her sister.
So why couldn't Karnak go with Medusa, or why couldn't they?
Because it's his wife, and they've been separated. Like that. Like, I don't know. I think almost that there. I think you're. I don't know. I don't see a problem with that. That kind of made sense to me.
I think the other problem too is like they spent all the time bringing the family back together, just to take them apart again.
But they had to take it. Like, they created a situation that was
kind
of the tension of the episode. That they had to split them.
I get it. I get it. It's just that you spent like 5 episodes, with the journey of bringing them all back together, and then you finally get them back together, and you split. I don't know. I think it goes back to a pacing issue of that's just poor pacing. That's poor planning and how you do this. If that's what you were going to do, you should have brought them back together 2 episodes ago. But again, 8 episodes, you don't have time to do that. So I think the story they're trying to tell to be good is too big for 8 episodes. And I can't look past that because that's stupid. Like, what were you thinking? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me, and it's hard to enjoy something that, hey, look, I admit there are some good things here. Like, I like the idea of Auran finding out that, hey, yeah, somehow her powers are not unlimited. She can't keep dying and coming back, which, you know what, makes sense. And Declan kind of telling us,
but she's finding it out too, which I really liked. She's got to reckon with that as well.
Right, I like that, but I'm also going to my mind now, like, hey, that's a really interesting story, but we have 2 episodes left, so are we really going to be able to get?
It's not an interesting story. It's an interesting story. It's an interesting wrinkle to a side character. Let's not get distracted by she's not the focus of the show, and that little wrinkle was never going to be explored in any show, really. Of a side character?
Well, I think that it could be if you come to this idea that somehow there's a limit on some of these Inhumans' powers and how going into how their powers affect their bodies and things like that. Like, I think there is a story there. Maybe not with this character, but also going to the idea of how the royal family uses other Inhumans for their own benefit. Like, I think that is part of the story. I think it fits.
But that's not the story they're telling. You're asking for a story that they were never going to give. You know what I'm saying?
Then they should never have put that wrinkle in there.
Well, but you're extrapolating more than they. All they said was she can't regenerate. You're extrapolating more than that.
Then why even put that in there if you're not going to explore it?
Because her fear of death needs to be introduced for the character.
But if she's a side character, who gives a fuck about introducing a fear of death side character?
You need to see why she hesitates when she doesn't shoot Karnak. Okay. It's literally a straight through line.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. It's just
and it's fine.
It's not a good show.
Both
it's just not
the shows where
we
didn't like it, but like especially like there are things that I really liked about this episode. Gorgon having the idea they don't know you're broken.
No, that's good. That's good.
Okay, fine. I'm not.
No, I'm saying that's good. No, go with it. No, I'm agreeing with you. That's good.
Well, I'm saying if I was like that, I loved all the Karnak and Gorgon stuff. I loved that entire fight. I loved him taking them down and not knowing it. Mm-hmm. And I also like the wrinkle that they've added this, and it seems that it's been kind of canonized for this show, is that his abilities aren't through training; they are through Terrigenesis. So that explains for me more why his powers aren't back, and it's when Medusa said, "Even without your powers, you're still better than at half without your powers, you're better than any other fighter on Atlan." And the way they demonstrated it with him just literally sneaking around and beating the shit out of everyone without even showing us.
Yeah, although technically Gorgon's fight scenes are definitely still better than his. So I definitely agree that Gorgon
showed it to us. Yeah. But I liked how they showed him being a master of everything that's going on around him, even without those wrinkles.
Absolutely. Although I still want to know, like, so if his powers aren't back, how the fuck did he block that fucking bullet? I don't understand how that worked.
I think that was like because you even saw like because even when he blocked it, the girl he's with got shot.
Right. So it's just like halfway.
So
there.
I think they're not all the way back. Yeah, I think it's like a flickering type thing.
Gotcha.
But like it's like Mortis said, like when he fights people, he tells them the different ways he can take them down. And with Mortis, he just did it.
Right.
And I thought that was a good insight into showing us what Karnak is usually like, but also what he's been reduced to. And I also like that he didn't see and is going to blame himself for the death of his cousin.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So that is going to be there. Although I understand they had to do this, but the fact that you had both Medusa and Karnak without their powers, I get it. That some people, I think that's just such a 90s, late 2000 thing to have these heroes and you take away their powers. I get it that they had to do it for the show, but again, this kind of goes to the show.
It's not just the show. That's like a trope of this type of storytelling. Spider-Man 2 loses power for no good goddamn reason. Like we can do this down the list. Like
but that's why I said early 2000s. Like that's something.
Yeah, but like. I think that the crystal stuff shows us that if you give these people full powers, it's not really much of a show.
Oh,
like,
God.
If Karnak could do what he can do, what are we watching?
Oh, my God.
Like when he's like, because they all turn him to make the plan, and he's like, you shouldn't let me make the plan. I'm not as dependable as I usually am.
No, I get that. Yeah. No, I think that Yeah, no, you're right.
And the thing is, for me, I even like it more because and especially when they met Sammy, it shows in relief the difference between pure Inhuman powers and these new Inhumans.
Right. Yeah.
Like when they're explaining, he's like, "Wait, I'm not a freak," and Gorgon Gorgon replies, "No, you're not a freak." He should have like, "You're actually severely underpowered and probably working in the mines, but you're not a freak."
God, they're such fucking dicks. They're so fucking terrible. They're so fucking terrible. When that dude said, "You're like some kind of thunder god," I wanted to insert the fucking Will Smith from Legends from what is that show? The movie he did, I Am Legend, with the no gif. It's just like, don't you fucking slander the fucking god of thunder. Don't you don't you fucking do that shit. Motherfucker, she literally finally got lightning to fucking work in this. Just don't you slander god of thunder by saying that shit. I wanted to slap the shit out of this whatever that motherfucker is. So let's see. I was gonna say something around that. Definitely. Audrey is definitely a 53%er.
Yo, snitch.
Such a 53%.
Snitch. That was when I was like, I'm glad. Now I'm glad that they all got away. Fuck this lady.
God, she's such a 53%er. I was just like, are you fucking serious right now? I just want, maybe we should take a picture so we can make sure she's on some kind of database. Are you really the feds? Like, Audrey was really the feds. She really feds, yo.
The rent-a-cop feds. You had to go get the real cops.
Oh my God. I wanted to fucking slap the shit out of her. Like, this is why you don't call your ex to help you even when you need help. Like, this is why you don't do that shit.
Like, hey buddy, like, I get, maybe she's the first vet you thought of. Think harder. Like, just go to
She's not even a vet, though. She's not even a vet. She's not a real vet. She's still in school.
A junior vet. Vet in training. She's not a vet to be. No, my friend. You need to make another phone call. Ask her if she knows a vet.
Oh, God.
Hey, Denise, yeah, it's me again. No, we're not getting back together. Do you know a vet I can call?
God.
No, I know you're training. I need a real vet. Yeah, I can hold. Like, that's how this should have gone.
Yeah. They didn't, this is I kind of wish that, again, I think it goes to the fact that they were running out of time, but the first time we were actually hearing that it wasn't just that Maximus was conscripting some of these Inhumans to fight in his war. He was doing minors as well, which I thought that, again, had they had more time, it would have been nice to kind of show a little bit more of that and show that some of these were minors. Because I was looking at some of them, like, they don't look like minors to me. They look...
I like that. I like that it can pay off down the line because...
Oh, yeah, it can. Definitely will.
You now set up the moral high ground of Medusa and the rest of the royal family come back and saying, yeah, we were wrong about the caste system. He's sending people who aren't qualified to fight to die.
Right. So, that'll be good to see that, and yeah. But I like I said, I think that. Go ahead.
They nailed. Go ahead.
No, because I think the flashbacks of the show we deserve. I like seeing more of the flashbacks into what how these characters interacted before the time, and even down the hints of the fact that because we saw the flashback of Black Bolt, at least the after effect of him killing his parents, but we find out that it wasn't. I think Medusa says something along the lines of, "It wasn't you, it was him," or somebody made a comment that it was really Maximus that was behind this and not Black Bolt, which again kind of fits into the comics and makes sense. So, and would also explain why they didn't lock Black Bolt up and say you can never do. You killed your parents off of this here, so it's a little bit different. And I even like the idea that Medusa's like, hey, listen, you can't just go and kill Black Bolt for Maximus for what he did. I mean, think about what we had with my parents. We don't want to be what they are, even though I'm like, you guys kind of are dicks, so you guys really didn't learn the right lessons.
You're not trying to be, but you are. Like, you should know that.
Right. So, I mean, again, I get what she was trying to say there, although I think maybe it needed a better messenger because you are kind of not right on this one, too. But no, I think that's a good point to try to make here with what they were trying to say as to, hey, look, tying it back to what happened to their own parents. So,
yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I thought they really nailed Gorgon's sacrifice.
Yeah.
I disagree.
Well, no, I mean, I think that's good, but it also, I guess I kind of also look at it like now you've killed off two of the royal family. Like, and again, I'm at the point now where I'm like, I don't think Triton's coming back.
Okay, and now I'm like, yo, Triton might actually be dead.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, I don't think
that was the first. I was like, oh, we were wrong as shit.
Yeah, I don't think Triton's coming back, which then kind of makes sense because I'm like, oh, you know why they did that? Because he's the only member of the royal family that doesn't look like that can't pass for human, and so they really went so cheap with this fucking show. So they didn't have him on the show because they didn't want to have some way of trying to conceal him on Earth. So, which also makes me wonder why Maximus decided to send the one member of the royal family who can't hide on Earth. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. But anyway, yeah. Triton's not coming back, yo. I don't know.
But that was like, I was wrong about Triton. They just killed the fish boy to send a message, I guess.
Yeah. Again, I don't know. I guess part of my reason for not liking the fact that Gorgon died is because his fight scenes were the best, and so now I'm like going into the last two episodes. I'm like, so who fills that gap? Because he literally is the only one that seems to be able to fight on the show and has cool action scenes. So where are we going with next? And then you also come on man Mortis. So now I'm like, my two favorite characters on the fucking show are dead now. You guys are really not trying to make me watch the show anymore. Like, what the fuck, man? Oh, God. Yeah. But no. I mean, I think in the context of the show and what they did, and I for the story they're telling, I think it works. I do kind of wish there was a little bit longer with this to pay off more. But, I mean, it is what it is. So I guess it makes sense. I mean, character-wise, it makes sense, and I do think out of all the characters, they've done a good job. The best character pairing they've done explaining is next to probably Black Bolt and Maximus is probably Karnak and Gorgon. So if you're going to kill somebody like this and try to at least have some kind of impact in 6 episodes, it had to be either Gornak or Karnak. And then have them. Yeah. So then that goes back to the idea of, hey, why do you have to split them up? And why did it had to be Gorgon and Karnak going? I mean, obviously, they had to write it that way. But like, if you're gonna have somebody die, it would make sense because God forbid if it had been Medusa or fucking Black Bolt trying to, have that scene, it wouldn't have had the same impact
at all.
Right. So it makes sense.
Close to it. I think they're doing better with them.
I mean, I think. But no. What I mean is like, yeah, sure. If it had been like, they're not gonna. First of all, they're not gonna kill Black Bolt or Medusa. But if they had killed one of them, then the other one, then that would have been good because they've again their chemistry is getting better and they paired them. But we haven't really gotten a good pairing of like Medusa and Karnak or Medusa and Gorgon or something like that. So if they had done that, it wouldn't have had the impact it did here. So I think that and again they've even done it to the idea of how the two of them view strategy and things like that. Like Gorgon runs in head first, and Karnak is the one that sees all the possibilities and sees all the weaknesses and go from there. They did a good job with that. Last week they had the flashback with him taking the flag, and Karnak telling him, "You have 22 minutes to put that flag back before we're discovered." So you need to go do that. So they've done a good job at least setting them up so that if you do kill one of them off, it makes sense. I mean, I still probably wouldn't have done it in 6 episodes, but they're not going to get another season. So, I mean, I guess you kind of had to do something. So, yeah. You got anything else?
No. 2 episodes left. I don't know, man. They've got a lot. I hope they hit it because they put me in a point where I really do want to see this showdown with the royal family and Maximus. It's gone from an ideological or disagreement to them going actually, and now they've resulted in the death of, like you said, one of the characters who's been most endeared to us. 2, if you want to be real about it, with Mortis.
Oh yeah, I was like, wait, you talking about Triton? I was like, oh, no,
Maximus get hit in the face.
Yeah. So, it'll be interesting seeing how they end these episodes. Like I said, we'll review those 2 episodes back to back. So, and I think I'll probably watch them that way too. I think it'll probably be better for the viewing. Yeah, like I said, I'm sorry to be the Dpalm on this when it comes to like how you are with like the Justice League movies and the DC movies. I hate to be this way. I don't want
that's different.
A terribly rushed movies that don't seem to have actual plans or how they're going to do with
shitty
sometimes.
See, I don't see the DC movies as rushed. They took their time on those pieces of shit.
Oh, okay. You're right. Yeah, okay. I'll give you that one. Okay, yeah. Somebody actually thought they were doing a good job here. Where
that shit went through committees.
Yeah. No, and you know, I think that's the other thing too that kind of makes me down on the show, makes me so I can't see past it. I know for a fact that nobody who made this show is proud of what they made. Like, I don't believe I do not believe. So it's hard for me to give this. I mean, shit, IMAX just came out and said putting it in IMAX was a mistake. Like, they got the IMAX theaters to come out and say, yeah, we shouldn't have done that shit. So it's really hard for me to try to see the good in this when it feels like everybody else who actually is involved in it didn't care. Like, we're not even getting like press or any kind of interviews or things like that going into the final 2 episodes of this season. There's nothing on this. Matter of fact, you'll probably find more on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. right now than you will going into Inhumans, because it's like, it doesn't feel like they give a shit. They know it was bad. They knew it wasn't going to be good, and they're not proud of it, and they're not even trying at this point. So it's really hard for me to give this show a chance. I want to be surprised. Like I said, it's a strong word. I think the last 2 episodes were a step in the right direction. I feel like this one was a huge step back, and it's really hard for me to try to give it more than this when, like I said, it just doesn't feel like even the people that made it want to acknowledge that it's even on TV. So we'll see. Maybe they saved all their money for and again, we're gonna get the royal family going back to Auran. So again, maybe we'll get and that's what happens with season finales of shows anyway. That people put all their money into those season finales and they go big. Like, I know Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. did that. So one of the things that Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. did really good was going into a break or going into a season finale. Maybe that's one thing that Inhumans will take from the Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. people, and we'll finish strong. So we'll see. We will see. So, again, you got anything else?
That's it.
All right, cool. Again, folks, thank you guys very much. I want to thank everybody who subscribed to Super Tuesday Recap and listened to the mailbag episode, who emailed us in. We're going to try to do these, release them like the last, I want to say the last, I said the last Friday on the last show, but it'll probably be the last weekday of, of the month, because this month, next month is going to be November, and the last Friday in that month is actually the day after Thanksgiving, so that's not going to happen. So we're going to find out when we're going to record that next one. We'll make sure we let you guys know so you guys get your emails in. Email us at mailbag@mtrnetwork.net for the mailbag episodes. For, again, comic books, movie talk, and things like that, or topics. Or you just want to comment on the last mailbag episode we did, go ahead and just send us to mailbag@mtrnetwork.net. If you have questions or comments on these shows, Inhumans, any of the Super Tuesday recap shows we're doing, Inhumans, Star Trek, Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, anything like that, email us at mtrailerreviews@mtrnetwork.net, and we'll answer them on the next show. And again, same thing for Supergirl. I know Dpalm and I are not reviewing Supergirl, but we'll make sure that Shannon and the Doctor get that email forward out there. So again, make sure you subscribe. iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google. Also go on to YouTube. You can watch us on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/MTR Network. Again, we have a Thor Ragnarok review that I did solo, because some quick hits. That's going to come out probably on Monday morning sometime. So stay tuned for that. And we'll have a full review with Phenom coming later on that week. And then a spoiler review later on next month with Dpalm after his wedding. So again, folks, thank you guys very much for listening. Until next time, we're out of here. Peace.